It's like maybe not so bad.
Hi everybody. Welcome back to the show. So don't mind Neil and I are having an inside joke. You don't want to know what inside. So
Scott.
you know what, this sweater, the way it bunches right here.
I know, it makes you look like you got moves.
I'm like,
I like the look, Scott. I like the dad bod.
Well, Neil, I made you some cookies. Come on, Neil. I made you some. Want to make a gingerbread house or granny?
I thought that roleplay was going to stay as secret, Scott.
Oh, sorry. It gives me some seriously long boob, as Doxy would say. Oh, Christ. Okay, moving on. You guys are finally reunited a few hours later on as your armies march forward. What happened to beat your armies here? So this is Tesh. You notice that another army comes marching on your city, but it's literally just the people, a Maltese Gish. I want to get there, and a few hours later on, because they didn't, but probably like maybe 5 hours later on or whatever it was, these guys show up because they didn't leave much ahead of them. They're just better trained soldiers. There's a small number of them. They recovered more quickly. But then they come back up there themselves. They stop by and got their other soldiers on the way, blah, blah, blah. And so they've returned to your home. A few hours later on, finally, the Chosen are reunited once again in Curse Fall. And it's this thing where, as you guys are approaching the city, you're getting reports sent to you like, Chosen of the Blade, Chosen of the Quill. And like, you're also being filled in the information he was, and you guys are probably like, what the But that's unfortunately thrown aside. Because as you actually enter into your city with your armies there, the understanding that the war has won, there is celebration in your city. There is so much joy. Even the number of Ridians, the number of people from Rid that are just happy to know that the threat has been vanquished. Even if their homes have been destroyed and uprooted, you can imagine they're pretty miserable, right? But despite all that, it's over. And there is an incredible amount of rejoicing between them to each other, to you guys return home. All of their chosen, having been hand-selected by 3 different deities, have survived this encounter and come home to them. And one looks a bit different as the people see him now. I believe his whole get-up has changed. We can worry about that later on. But at least the way he's presenting himself. So the people are very happy with this. It makes it, you're angry about the horses. But it's hard to linger on that in the moment as literally you're walking through the streets and people are running up to you and cheering your name or singing rejoicing songs or coming over. And so many people, like men and women, are running up and just literally, you're like, I'm trying to get to the town. And it's like, is this appropriate? Who knows? They come up and like hugging you and giving you a pat in the back and coughing in your face and corona spreading. And then you guys have another epidemic to deal with because trump card, actually it's a, no, I'm just kidding.
So it's actually classified as a pandemic now?
I didn't I say?
You said epidemic.
I said epidemic,
yeah. My apologies. Pandemic. So, yeah.
Wait. What's the year of this one? Oh, no, I can't see the map with the year.
Oh, I don't remember. What year are you talking about?
Doesn't matter.
Is that a nice black coffee you got there, Scott?
Yeah, it's the only coffee I drink.
So, chat, who here thinks it'd be a really good idea to add another trump card cost item in that you can just fuck with Scott as well? So you're like, no more coffee for you, Scott. And he has to yeet it onto his messy carpet already, you know.
No,
Great.
I can't throw coffee on the carpet.
I'm just saying we need some carpets. Like we need some quality in here.
They can't see it. You guys can. They can't see it. There's literally a carpet that is like half an
inch. Oh yeah, that's another carpet. Yeah.
It was my wife. She goes, just do it like Arabian style. As she said. And I was like, I don't think that's exactly how it's done, but that actually works for keeping this whole area over here carpeted. She's like,
a DMTC, if you will, Snugger.
And then back there's just a different, huge but thin carpet.
I actually have
I'm surprised you still have your pole out, Scott.
that giant carpet. I legitimately have a carpet underneath me that is almost exactly like that one.
This one
same
back here?
color. Yeah, same color, the same sort of like weirdish, diamondy sort of shape in the middle with like the patterns. Yeah, I have one. Yeah, it's not exactly the same, but it's the same sort of style.
Yeah, I like that style. I don't know, and that was not very. There was like Wayfair on like clearance or something. So my wife got that for like $60, and it's huge.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, this one's huge as well. I don't know. I just got it from my parents. I don't know where it was from.
Bear in mind what Neil says. You know, ignore Neil. But I'm an inch shy of 6 feet. So how that converts in me? So it's a 1.8 meters or whatever it is. And it's pretty,
Yeah.
I really thought he was about to go and like get on that pole and start dancing, and I was like, oh, that's fun, dude.
But yeah, no, I use it
Neil's
to
like
protect
4'8" confirmed.
Yeah, I use it to protect the wood floor from my desk and like chair and stuff.
I mean, you were standing up at full height right next to that table, right? You're barely over it.
Anyways, so let's continue. Sorry, you were saying something, Tesh, or?
He
Whatever it
protects
was, it's
his floor
gone.
from the carpet.
Oh yeah, no. I protect the floor with the carpet.
That's
from my desk and chair.
that's what I meant.
Yeah, I have to protect my
protects his floor
concrete
from the
because you know my chair is going to mess up my concrete, and no. So anyways, and I wanted to leave some exposed concrete as opposed to getting the whole thing carpeted because like in the summertime it's gonna be warmer, so I could just put my feet on the concrete, you know. Anyways, moving on. Let's you guys are finally reunited with one another. I imagine you have to get through the crowd. So I don't know if Tesh stands there on the top of the overlook at the top of the stairs waiting for the others to, or if he comes down, hi guys. How do you guys actually reunite?
He would probably come down, but he would like wait at the top of the steps because like obviously people are celebrating. They want to see us. Me going down into the crowd just going to make things chaos.
Yeah, on the way up to.
Oh, that's right. Because they're like Destiny's Child and you're Beyonce. I get it.
Thanks for interrupting, Scott.
You're welcome.
Anyway, as we're on our way there, I would kind of just bump Wherein and say, you should make a speech. Tonight is for them.
You sure you don't want to do this one?
The honor is yours.
Don't want to howl at your wolf pack? He gives you a little grin.
He would just motion for you to look in front of him.
He'd motion. Fine, very well. I'll think of something to say. Scott.
You guys are RPing. I was letting you have your moment. So you guys are you meet up at the top of the thing, and you guys have like a little conversation probably as you're walking up the stairs together. And finally you physically reunite at the top of the stairs right outside the actual entrance to your literal castle with Val. You guys seeing each other the first time, knowing that the war is effectively over, but let's
Val would hug.
Not mince things. We know that there's still more problems. Go ahead.
No, Val would 100% go in for the hug on both.
Remember not to hug.
Good to see you well. And very well, apparently. Just looking to one, as it is now. I take it things went well?
You look well.
Very well.
I take it things went well. Hello, Juan. Are you alive?
What?
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
One lifts the visor from his helmet. Oh, I was actually taking a nap. It was a long trip.
You just say, yeah, things went well.
Good. Well, it's good to have you back. Certainly,
Good to be home.
I'm sure it is. It's
Rayron would look at him when he says that. He looks at what he looks at one, and there's a peculiar expression, like a fondness.
yeah. Well, I'll definitely be glad to have you back. It's not being the same. Oh.
Indeed.
Well,
I'm pleased that the war is over. Unfortunately, it has created a huge, great mess.
yes.
And it will take a long time to deal with the repercussions of such.
Yes, but I think for tonight, at least for their sake and a sort of gesture outward, tonight is celebrations.
Rayron would step forward to the balcony to look over the crowds that have gathered. Like intermingling of the soldiers meeting their families, that sort of thing.
Now is when you trump card. Go ahead.
He'd look at them and he'd say, "Tonight, we feast." And then he'd turn and continue.
Can I, as soon as he does that, we feast. I want to do one of these and just do the sort of thing with the crowd. Try and get the crowd to join
Aaron
in.
instantly gets his bottle of wine out. He's already been on it for the past 3 days straight. That's why he wasn't nervous when that white was like, "I might eat you." He was like, "Sure, I'll pickle you, mate."
After the trepidation of the past couple of months, after the loss of one of the towns and all the people being uprooted and sent here, the joining of armies from different lands that seem to come to your aid, and the threat of Haude Gwenh and the people that have been dying of dehydration for so long beforehand that came to be refugees here, etc., etc. They look to their leaders for some semblance of leadership, for guidance, and one of them goes, "Tonight we feast." And the other one's like, "Yeah!" And they're like, "We voted them. That's Trump right there." Yep.
I'm considering whether I have to step up after that.
Well,
I was expecting a speech
You
as
would
well.
say to you, he'd
This
be
is
like,
not-
"This is unlike you."
This is not a speech. This is not the time for a speech.
No, we do a
Everyone-
speech during
They're
the feast.
family.
Perfect time for a
I'm
speech.
teasing you. I'm teasing you.
Of course, it's not. The time for a speech is at the feast when everyone's a couple bevies in, and they're going to be a lot
Actually,
more
you're not wrong.
open to whatever I say. I'm already getting the modifier from the fact that they're drunk. Excuse me, Scott. What was that you just quietly muttered in the background? Did you say that louder?
No, what was it?
That's what I
What
thought.
was that?
I forgot. Something about being drunk makes something. I don't know. I forget.
Oh God. So it's like partway through the session, Scott's wife is just gonna walk down, slap him, walk back up.
She's at work. Unfortunately, we don't get
Uncertain time, Scott.
I'm like, not quarantined. Don't worry about it.
You're like, COVID. And they're like, yeah, he's fine.
There was I was at the store that was massively packed, and then someone sneezed. They sneezed into their elbow, but it was a weird sounding sneeze, and then just everyone just parted, it was like the parting of the Red Sea. And I almost wonder if they did it deliberately to get around easily, because they immediately just walked straight past where everyone parted.
Again, watching people react to coughs and whatnot has been funny. But years in restaurant, I've learned you don't just sneeze in your elbow. I've always done this. It's kind of like a sneeze down. You know what I mean?
That would be.
You're telling me that you're actually the creator of the dabs, guys? How are you trying to?
Yeah! Oh!
Please start.
That was me. It was all me. Actually, what happened was because I have waited for Patriots and whatnot, and so they saw it and they showed their friends and their friends made it popular, and that's how it goes. It all starts with the Patriots, not Tom Brady. Fucking Buccaneers. Sad.
Anyway, we need to go into the castle.
Fucking ears.
We need to either speak to the advisors. Probably not yet. We'll do that after the celebration, the morning after. Or
Good. Now that you're all hungover, let's talk.
we probably want to have a little chat in the map room first, I think, and then we'll decide who gets to hold the baseball bat and who holds the arms on Lady Grey. Wait, what? And we'll decide what we need to do next. Scott, just stop. We get it. That sweater makes your boobs look great. Okay.
I think it's about Lady Greyeress. So.
Oh my god.
So you wanted to have a conversation with the council tomorrow, not this evening, correct?
I think probably we'll have full council tomorrow. We'll have the chosen ASAP now, and then we might speak to Lady Greyeress today. We'll see.
Okay. So you have this evening. How much BP are you looking to spend on this feast? Mind you, you're taxed for supplies. It's hard to get them. Wow, you actually just got a bunch from your battles that you won. Your spoils
Enemy rations.
Enemy rations for fun. How much do you want to spend on this? I mean, it's probably important. Mind you, I haven't refilled your coffers from Patreon in a couple of months. The reason why I haven't done that is because you guys haven't had an accountant to look at what's coming in. You guys haven't appropriately hit your taxes. So it's literally one of those things like, how much money do we have to spend? I don't know. Yeah, me neither.
Fuck.
Where's the accountant? He's still with the orcs in Haude Gwenh. Oh shit! You guys have no idea what's going on at the moment, financially.
What do you think about dropping 3 BP on it? That's a significant amount.
That is a significant amount, yeah. So I was laughing because of the "do it right, my dudes." Or just do it right, dudes. I read it as "do it right, my dudes."
Yeah, I was considering 5 BP as well, but I think 5 is like let me just refresh myself because it's been fucking months since I built anything. Thanks, guys. Right, okay, so 10 BP is enough for a stable. 6 BP is enough for a smithy. 6 BP is enough for a tannery. Tenement is 1 BP. Trade shop is 10 BP. Watergate is 2 BP. Waterway is 3 BP. Okay. Let's go for 5 BP then.
Okay.
We need to garner as much loyalty in our followers as we can.
You're not wrong.
What we can also do, like you say, the kingdom won't necessarily have a huge amount of food reserves stockpiled as well. So we can go door to door and pay citizens to bring out food and drink.
I see this as, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I see this as not necessarily this 5 BP. It's for the people, but it's not all directly for food and alcohol, because 20,000 gold pieces in raw and straight value versus like how the exchange and whatnot could work out. It sounds like an awful lot, even for the few thousand people that live here, right? Like that is an incredible amount. So we can go one of two routes. One, you also want to send like supplies with this down to Vigil and whatnot, so their people can also have what they need to because of like what they just recently went through. Or two, you can also spend some of this money on literally a degree of reparations for the people. Like yes, come and get your food, feast, die, and so on and so forth, but also leave with a sack of silver. You know what I mean? So your people don't feel like after today, sure, they got a full belly of liquor and food, but now they're going to starve tomorrow because they got nothing. Their home was taken.
I think that's probably a good idea. I think that's probably a good idea because it's also like it is a nudge to the economy.
Health bonus.
Well, no, it would work because they in order for like the economy to work, people need to spend money.
I agree that it nudges it in the right direction. So I think yes, we could give everyone a small amount of reparation, but it's actually you say about sending stuff to Vigil.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to. I was saying this or that. You have to spend more BP to do both.
Yeah, I'd be more likely to send something to Varen rather than Vigil.
Varen's a hike.
I know.
And there's open lands between here and there that who knows what can
happen.
It's
a good point,
I think we probably ought to
there's the leftover Varen riders. They can go too after they're done rejoicing.
Yeah. They're not with us now.
They are. They just
A
weren't
few
an
of them
army.
joined. A few of them joined.
There's like
the
30
Riders
something,
of Wherein.
40 of them that had lived.
They don't have any horses. Yeah.
We could give them the reparations to take back.
We'll think about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyways, like I said, you're filling their bellies, but also you're giving them like a sack of silver, to take home. So each parent or whatever, or each adult gets like a small sack of silver. Maybe some kids like a cute sack of copper
Call
or
it
something like that.
pouch, not a sack.
A sack.
Yeah, please stop.
We're not made of money.
Daddy's sack of dice, right? Daddy's sack. We're giving them a sack of. Anyway, so you give them a pouch, because that sounds so much better, of silver. Maybe the kids like a cute little pouch of copper or something like that too, which is very real currency, and you can actually buy very real things with it. But it makes all the people feel like appreciated. Now we're not talking about filling it up with like 30 silver. Like, no, that's crazy. Probably like a good 10, 12 silver pieces each, which is just about a gold piece each. That's a lot of money per person, right? That adds up to easily between all the citizens. Let's call it 4K or 1 BP right there, right? That's huge. That's a stimulus package. So you guys are doing this, and it really is going to have an impact on the people here. You said you wanted to give a speech to the people at this point in time before we do the advisory meeting tomorrow. Who wanted to give a speech, and how are we going to deliver it?
We need to have a little meeting first. The three of us, the chosen. In the map
Is it
room.
time?
It's time in
Oh
private.
no!
Oh, the three of you.
No.
So probably as the evening festivities start off, you guys let all the people distracted. You can go and have.
But while all the
conversation.
prep is going on, we
the
do
prep
it
is going
for
okay,
it.
cool,
Yeah. Because this is something that needs to happen ASAP.
Then honestly, a feast tonight is probably not really feasible for what you're talking about. It's probably a feast tomorrow night. So this happens, logistically, right? So go ahead.
So Wherein would, obviously the three of us would walk into the castle together. Wherein would ask Varen if he could join the two of them in the map room.
Oh yes. What was that?
And
Sorry, I just
then-
looked over to see Scott.
Yeah,
Continue.
I often look at Scott and think, what is that? And then once we're in, he'd close the door, check the room with detect magic, as you do.
Is it that?
You detect magic, and you detect the presence of magic in this room, because that table is often used, and is so always giving off glow of magic. But beyond,
What type of magic?
But the typical how do you teleport? Was that conjuration magic? So typical conjuration. You okay, Neil?
Is
Just go with
this
it, don't worry.
about the
He's got
messages
corona
that I
time.
sent you?
Sorry, Tesh. Scott taught Toby.
Is this about the messages that I sent you?
No, rather something that we should have told you about sooner. Please
Okay.
sit.
Okay, here we go and sit.
Rayron will pull up a chair as well. You recall the slime that we encountered in the keep under Haude Gwenh?
Yes.
After removing the curse, the slime continued to spread and multiply throughout the river. We determined that the cause of that was the power of souls. The souls of the people of the Mole Empire, the Mole souls themselves. The Mole souls were allowing it to proliferate and expand.
Is the Raven with you?
He might be good for illustrative purposes.
Okay, so then maybe the Raven's not with you. Maybe a dog or something has come in here with you instead. Something a little less.
No, not a little mangy dog. I'll stick with the Raven. He can sit on a perch.
Well, it's definitely not going to be a cat, because we know that very likely Val's allergic to cats. He strikes me as the type that's allergic to cats. If you know what I'm saying.
Wow, that's.
No way. But if he is, he's the type that doesn't care. It's like cat. Ah!
Just swollen.
Worth it.
The slime would have continued to proliferate and spread for a long period of time until either this soul energy was expended or some other means prevented it.
If I remember right, there was some sort of magic that because if this is out of character, if I remember right, I know that you performed a magic to get rid of it, and that the creatures were a side effect of that, but an unintended one is what I thought. I believe. Yeah. If I remember right, that was the ritual, the magic that you cast. I believe Mobe helped you with that, right?
Correct. I was frugal with my application of the whole truth in this instance. Rather than it being an ancient ritual to clear the slime, I traveled to the North Keep and I solicited the devils with Momig's aid. And they removed the problem. Merely the cost would be to take the slimes, the slime, the souls, back to where it is they are from. Of course, this for them was a good deal. They also offered us 3 other boons and knowledge, information. The knowledge takes the form of this. He motions to the crow, the raven. This is in fact an imp, useful fellow, has helped me in several occasions. And
it was you I was chasing around the castle.
The boons.
It nods and it gives you like a knowing wink.
And the boons, there are 2 remaining. One and I used one to spirit away the leadership of Haude Gwenh and eliminate them at night. I'm sorry that we were not able to consult with you or tell you beforehand.
So you traded all of those souls?
Thousands of mole souls for the lives of our people and the people of Haude Gwenh.
And what did you do to the leaders of Haude Gwenh?
I killed them all.
I didn't tell either of you about this initially. This was a burden to be upon my shoulders alone. I knew
He's going to slump back in his chair, just sort of.
I would say you do not have the heart for it, but in truth, what I mean is you have far too large a heart for it. This decision was mine. I made it. I do not want you to suffer the guilt of it. However, I want you to feel respected and valued as our equal. I told one in a tense time, you were not available to tell. I'm trying to make reparations for that by telling you now.
You say this is your burden, but it doesn't work like that. You made it our burden. The mole may not have been saints, but they did not deserve that.
They did not deserve to suffer, no. However, they already were. You saw that slime, as did I. That is no way for a being to exist.
The fact is, we don't even know what the slime. We know what it was, but we don't know the state that those souls were. So.
There are a few other the boons, should they be called upon, must be agreed by both parties. Parties being a member of the Chosen and the Devils. The Devils cannot enter a deal so long as this deal is in effect, as long as one of the boon remains. Also, Phaedril here is in our service until that time.
He would look at the bird and just sort of even though he like acknowledged the bird earlier, that would be sort of the dawning of what it is, and you see that sort of realization. And he looks back at Rayron. I need to think. Is that all?
Octavia and the Vigil, someone dug up the bodies of the leaders of Haude Gwenh and dumped them on their doorstep. Octavia accused us and stated that she would rather have all of her people die than defend them without honor. Juan and I refuted this. There were some heated discussions, but ultimately we fought at Vigil's side and won. Octavia sacrificed her life to enact an ancient ritual, which he looks to Juan for like confirmation, which summoned the dead.
You just nod.
They drove through the forces of the free folk, and we were victorious.
He looks like he's about to speak and then goes back to sort of thinking. As I said, I need to think on this. Thank you for finally telling me.
It's been a busy few months. The opportunities to tell you have been few and far between. Realistically, this was the earliest opportunity that we could tell you without impacting you in a negative manner to affect the war. I did this to save lives, and telling you early would not have helped. I did this alone so that none of you would suffer the consequences.
You took away my choice in the matter. In both senses. I just need you to understand that. I understand why you did it. I see the logic. I just wish it had gone differently. I need time to think, please. And he actually would stand up then.
Raymond looks like he wants to say something. He open his mouth, then close it.
Thank you. I'll be at the temple. And he's gonna leave and go to the Martyr's temple. Oh, unless you stop him on the way out.
When he says he'd be at the temple. The night that Leon died, I prayed to the martyr for guidance. She sent an agent. It spoke to me. It told me that I travel a dark path. However, it said there was an opportunity to turn from it. I know that you are close with the martyr. You are truly her chosen Valra. I tell you this in respect for your position as such, not simply as my ruler or friend.
Thank you for telling me.
Sorry.
And that will be him turning around to leave again.
Does one or Grishka say anything? Like, for instance, hi?
No, there was a
Farts
stage
loudly.
where he looked like he was going to say something, but then just kept quiet.
Okay. So you guys end up going where does Val end up going? You said to the temple to just simply pray?
Yeah, I would also like to know, his face wouldn't have been anger. It would have been complete and utter just sort of...
Don't say disappointment!
No. Like, just... You know how you can tell when someone's processing? And, like, it's just so much that they're just stuck in that state of, like, trying to process? That's what his face would have been. Like, that's sort of just trying to figure out how he's trying to figure out how he should feel. And,
proud of your boy. You must feel proud of your boy.
And then so he's going to go to the temple of the martyr.
And what do you do while you're there? Anything that's worth kind of focusing the camera on? Or are we talking about simple prayer? And if it is simple prayer, can you describe how he does it?
I mean, before he starts his normal prayers, he would probably sit and just stare at the statue of the martyr, and trying to figure out if there was something he wanted to ask, if he was going to ask, how he was going to ask it. Then sort of eventually deciding that no, he just needs to have faith in her and continue his prayer normally, so he can think.
Okay, beautiful. Like I said, that evening, the next day is going to be all preparation for the feast.
I have something I'd like to do.
Happening the next evening, and I imagine you guys are going to have your actual advisor meeting once again the day after the feast.
You're not allowed to go and see Lady Grey wrestle.
Not prior.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, hold on. Did you bring your axe to the grind first? Like, get it nice and sharp. So,
I wanted to go down there before Beltran was brought down.
Sure, that's fine. Beltran could easily still be held away from, like, held as a prisoner elsewhere. Mm-hmm.
I imagine it happens the same night we get back. He's just not brought down there straight away.
Yeah, that's fine. Same after this conversation, even. You know what I mean? Kind of like give you guys some time to figure things out before you have to deal with that whole scenario. She can wait another day. So go ahead, you go down there.
I'd probably have the guards have Beltran brought up to I don't know, close to where they can. When I call out to them, they can bring him in.
So top of the stairs, gotcha.
Yeah, and I'd just walk down there and see what she's doing.
Okay.
First.
So when you go downstairs, nobody ever revoked it. So she still has a lot of books and whatnot that are around her. So all the stuff that she wanted to inform you of Haude Gwenh, all those details, she's still working on it. Same as she promised she would. I mean, she's kind of at the tail end of what she could possibly provide. But, you know.
Yeah. So the letter said that she was the one that did it. What was that?
It said that she set the fire after being told to do it by Momeg in exchange for her children's life, basically.
Okay.
And
So
he let her out.
He would just go down there and obviously make his presence known, and he would come up to the bars, I'd imagine, and just kind of look at her for a minute.
So the doors themselves don't have like basic bars. Some they're just like solid reinforced wooden doors. You can always modify that in the future if you want to. Mm-hmm. So you'd open up the door, which she's in it. It's not like it's a big cell and you have lots of guards down here anyways, like 4 guards. So what's the little old lady gonna do? There used to be 2 guards, now there's 4. So, but go ahead.
He dismissed the guards.
All 4 of them?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. They go upstairs. Sir, you want us to stay nearby?
Yes, just stay with the others at the top of the stairs. Come when I call.
She, kind of hearing this conversation, like, you know, mumbled through the door. It's one of those things where when the door finally opens, she does not have a quill in hand. She does not have a book open. That kind of stuff is kind of set to the side of where she's sitting. Her hands are folded over her lap, and she's looking up at you. She doesn't have this like hoity kind of look, but she also doesn't have an apologetic look. She's just sitting there expectantly.
All right, so he'd walk in and close the door.
Sure.
And then he would
Careful, that latch is behind you. Ooh.
And then he would go and sit down, whether it be on, like, I think she's got a desk or something.
Correct.
In there.
Yep, so you just like sit,
go and sit down
opposite the desk.
Yep, and he'd just say to her, so you've been setting fires? Making deals?
Yes, I set one fire, or technically a couple small ones that became one fire. I did, yes.
Could you tell me what happened that night?
Yeah. The guards fell asleep. The door was unlocked. And I went upstairs and I grabbed a torch from a sconce. I focused in one section of the library. I could read, obviously, so I found that area. The musty smell let me know which books they were anyways. And I lit as many as I could before I made enough smoke I thought somebody might notice. Tossed the torch underneath another pile of books. And then left. Made my way back down here. Nobody really noticed. And I let myself back into the cell.
Why?
It was the deal that I had made.
Deal with who?
I wish I could answer the question better than I did to Daelric. Spectre.
What did the spectre look like? Describe it to me.
A man. A Perrin man. I've only ever seen him that one time. Though I swear I've heard him before. Down here in the dark cell alone.
Has he spoken to you before?
Like I said, I think I've heard him before. He's been down here occasionally. I thought it was just whisper in my mind's time alone. For a minute, I thought I was going crazy.
What did he say?
Those previous times?
Yes.
Asking about the research and what I understood. Stuff like that. Getting to know me. It was nice to have somebody to talk to. With wherein, Elliot, and Daelric being rather distracted as of late.
I would imagine. Probably does get lonely down here.
Unfortunately. Might I ask a question?
He nods.
Is my husband dead?
Yes.
I didn't even ask for him to be saved. Maybe because in my heart I already knew it was too late, or maybe because I truly didn't care. I guess it's beyond us now.
Yes. Though your son is here.
I'm glad.
You know, someone must answer for the crimes that you and your son have committed.
I have already offered to do so as a representative of my family. My husband's already paid, and I'll gladly finish paying that debt. My children to go free so that they can live their lives elsewhere.
Well, Beltran is not free. He's alive.
He is alive.
I'm going to talk with the other chosen. I think you know what has to happen in regards to yourself. I will consider letting you see your son one last time.
She stops, her mouth agape, her eyes start to well up, and there's like a solid 3-second period of time while she tries to like kind of catch her breath. Not that she's out of breath, but she gets like so choked up it takes her a moment. And she says, if there is anything else in this world that I can ask for prior to the final decision, that's all it would be.
Well, I'll take it into consideration. I hope you've done good work with what wherein asked you to do. There was one now, for the most part. Wonder if there's anything in those books that is of any use. I've had all your belongings, or most of them, anything of value brought back to Kurzfall. Do you want to save me some time and tell me if there's anything I should be looking for in particular? Any extra pair of boots, per se?
No. Nothing that stands out at this moment. There are old heirlooms. Some of the items there have a bit of magic to them, crafted by our family's relationship with the Congress, but other than that, no.
I want you to prepare an argument on why, after everything, after your betrayal, again, even if it was, as you say, to save your children. Yeah, the other two weren't in any danger, though Beltran, well, was always intended to be captured by most. So, prepare something and convince not only me, mostly me, but tell me, find a reason for you to live, knowing of the crimes you've committed against Valorant and its people. You have 2 days. He'll hold the door open and and he'd yell to the guards, and they would bring Beltran down, probably with like some type of, probably like a sack over his head. And he would allow her to see him being thrown in like the furthest south from her.
So, but like sack of the head, so she can't confirm it's him, but it's pretty obvious based off like say the clothing he's wearing and the state that he's in.
Yeah, he's just giving her a little taste.
Beautiful. She would, if you don't just immediately shut the door after that, she like watches obviously, like kind of that looming kind of look. She never actually rises from her seat, but she gets pretty damn near to it as she leans. She then recomposes herself. She looks at you and she says, war is a terrible thing that unfortunately needs to be done for the benefit of many people, even if they don't understand why. It doesn't sit well with many, but it seems to have sat well with you. You truly are a chosen of Roga, aren't you?
I am. Do not attempt to communicate with Beltran, even if he yells out for you. And you may have your moment, a proper moment. Focus on the task I've given you, and then he'll shut the door. And he'll instruct the guards to make sure there's no chatter from her, and he'll go back upstairs.
Okay. Upstairs you go. Okay, so again, the rest of this day is preparation for the feast. And unless there's anything else, the feast happens this evening. Do you boys want to take a quick little breaky break before Neil slaughters a speech and we have to have Val and Jake come in and save him?
Yeah,
What was I going to say? I said so many speeches. I'm running on, like, you can't just put your foot down with this car forever. You know, at some point I'm going to run out of, what is it you guys call it? Gas? You know, that thing that's definitely never, ever a liquid.
Yeah, so I've always found that weird. Gas. It's petrol.
I mean, why is it petrol? It's gas.
It's not a gas.
It is a gas. It literally is at room temperature.
That's like being like,
gas.
would you like a glass of steam?
No, but
And it's water.
Literally at room
Would you care
temperature.
Would you care for a steam cube in your water?
At
And it's
freezing,
just ice cubes.
At 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius, it turns
Would you
into a
like
gas.
liquid?
No,
When you hand someone a
it
thing of
turns into a
water,
gas.
do you hand someone water and say, would you like a liquid?
Yes.
Would you like me to dip this bag full of solids in your liquid? I see. Would you require cow liquid in it?
You don't call it its state. You call it the name.
Neil, are you offering to dip your bag full of solids in my liquid?
Yes.
With that, boys, we are going to take a break. It's going to be quite the break indeed. And girls, I imagine there's at least one of you out there somewhere. There's at least one of you. Please. Oh,
We remember you,
just,
Josh.
You just creep them out. Well, there's several. They're quietly hiding. They're scared of Jake. I don't blame them.